We'll start the demonstration of freight auditing by visiting a new activity to import your freight invoices. So you can collect your freight invoices from your carriers like UPS and FedEx on a regular basis, and then easily import them into the application through a quick dialog here that allows you to drag and drop an invoice that you get from the carrier. You can pick the specific carrier, we'll do UPS here, and a map, and then select Save to initiate that import, and then actually invoke the import process itself. So when you have a large collection of invoices, it's very easy to drop the invoices in, make them available to Pacejet, and have them loaded for the freight auditing process. One of the important areas of flexibility in the freight auditing solution is a configurable import tool that allows you to arrange different import maps by carrier so you can adjust the data stream that's coming in for the invoices to match the analytics you want to perform. So here you can easily drag and drop fields onto the map, save that map under a carrier name, and then have different data formats coming in for UPS and FedEx and other carriers in the process. Now that our latest invoices are loaded into Pacejet, we can go take a look at the freight auditing reports to see what's going on with our actual shipments and our invoice shipments. So here we're going to select the invoice. I'm not going to set any parameters to control what we view. You could set parameters like a cost delta, exclude particular types of corrections, or we could just look at everything that's being reported by the analysis. So what we're seeing here is a comparison of the actual shipping data that's recorded when you're transacting shipments through Pacejet, basically what you expect to be invoiced. That's this column right here. So the shipment cost on this first shipment is $34.97. That's what was reported based on everything we did down in the warehouse. That's what we expect it to cost. Now, over here is a column in the carrier invoice. So that's what was charged on the invoice. The rest of the analysis starts to compare the various charges and the data that was in the invoices to the actual data that we have in the shipping system. So the first shipment here, we can see that it was $47.97 was the actual invoice. So why was that more money? Well, there was an address correction. So there was an additional $13 fee. Perfect example of the kind of fees that may be hitting you all of the time. And there are answers for these kinds of solutions. So for example, you might want to use the Pacejet address correction to avoid that particular fee. Now, throughout the analysis, there are drill down hyperlinks that can help you dig in a little bit and see what's happening. For example, here we could drill down on that particular address change and see what the original address was, what was it corrected to help figure out what's exactly going on as you compare these different costs. Now, if we drill down to a few other examples, you can see here's one with a cost of $10.10, but the invoice was actually only 48 cents. So what happened? Well, there were some refunds involved here over in this tie-out column from the original shipment. So it could be that this shipment was late and we filed a complaint and got that refunded, but in the course of the refund we didn't get everything back. We did not get the fuel surcharge. So you can see this kind of behavior across multiple invoicing periods as you import different invoices over time. Scroll down a little bit more and we can look at an example where there are multiple charges, and in this case it was $9.70 was what we expected the cost. It was actually $17 and a penny, and what drove that change here was a return shipment. So the address was unable to be resolved, so there was a fuel surcharge in addition to the undeliverable return fees that were added to our cost. It's all blue here because we can tie out the shipment and we know the reasons behind the deltas. There are times when there may be a red indicator on here that tells us when we can't actually tie it out yet, and perhaps it'll be tied out in the next invoicing cycle. Go a little bit further down, you can see here's a residential adjustment. That's another example of the kind of fees that could be caught up front. So for example, if you're not using the address verify with residential detection, then this can happen. If the shipment is going to a residence and it's not captured in the upfront shipping cost, the carrier is going to add that extra $3.09 fee during the invoicing process. If we go a little bit further down, we can see multiple types of activities happening, from the address correction, the residential adjustment, as well as the delivery area surcharges down here. A few other interesting features that are helpful in the analysis include the drill down on various types of shipping details. So for example, I can drill down on a tracking number here and see the full detail arranged for a shipment, including the basic shipment information, the carrier class of service, some of the financials, details on the address, fulfillment details like who packed it and who shipped it. All of that can be helpful as you look at the details of what was reported in the actual shipping process and then what we see in the auditing detail. Another drill down here on the delivery order for this shipment allows us to see the actual shipping detail as it appeared when users processed the shipment. So we can see the full information on the shipment, package detail. All of that detail is visible in the application in a little more familiar way as part of the auditing process. Reports can also be printed, and you can save parameters for settings on common views that you want to use in your analysis. Well, that's it for this quick look at Pacejet Freight Auditing, a tool to help you get a grip on shipping costs, comparing the invoices you get from carriers to your actual shipping data to really understand whether you're getting what you pay for when it comes to shipping.